Can you do the recognition, please?
I didn't see it. I don't have it in front of me, but don't worry about it.
I have it. But I don't even
What
know
are
if
you
you're on
so
the
nervous
call.
about? You're so freaking badass. Sorry for those of you guys who don't like the curses.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
I don't know that they're on the call, but just in case, I'm going to start now. We'd like to congratulate Meli Pimentel because she just became an emerald, and Wendy Guzman Rosa, who became a ruby. Woohoo!
Congratulations, guys.
Them. And I guess, yeah, we could start. Let me see if I can figure this out. You know what sucks? That I can't see myself once I pull up. Oh, so I made a PowerPoint presentation. A little. It's
Can't
not
wait to
that
see.
fancy.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All righty. Let me see if I. Oh no, I lost it. Wait. Where are you? Okay. Sorry, guys.
So
all right.
cute.
So I need to share my screen. Oh, I can here.
Yes, you can.
So for those who don't know me, my name is Nixie, and the reason why Meli chose me to this call is because I own a business, a small business, with my dad, of course, because I can't do it for myself. But it is what we call a brick and mortar, which is basically means like you have a physical location, and that's where you run your business. For tonight's example, I'm using my grocery store, which is my business. And I'm going to compare the costs of that business with the Beachbody costs, which is my part-time business for now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see my presentation. And let's see. Can you guys see it? Yes? Okay, awesome. I'm going to just play. Oh, if this can get out of the way. Slideshow. I'm sorry, guys. I hadn't used this before.
Nixie, you are doing great. Don't worry about it. We're excited to hear what you have to say.
All righty. So, costs of being a Beachbody coach, brick and mortar business versus relational marketing. Relational marketing is Beachbody coaching. First of all, I'm going to start with the brick and mortar initial costs. Yeah, that little calculator because it's a lot of numbers. $200,000. It's actually the store price. So my dad calls me about 5 years ago, because that's how long we've been at the store. And he's like, hey, listen, the store across the street is up for sale. And I'm like, oh, all right, awesome. I was working for plastic surgeons, and I was actually all burnt out there. I was like dying to leave that place. And he's like, yeah, would you like to come into business? Just like that. Like, oh, yeah. But, I was wondering if you'd like to come into the business with me. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? And he's like, yeah, but you need money. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, how much? Because I wasn't ever the type to really save much. But believe it or not, and I'm going to make the story short, I had saved up my whole life savings was $15,000. And he's like, all right, fine. That's what you're going to use to start the business. And I'm like, what? All right, fine. So that was that. Oh, there, I put that effect on that. $15,000. This is just the initial cost that I'm going to go through. $15,000, which was my little investment, went to inventory because you need to fill up the store when you buy it. I mean, sometimes it's half empty. Ours wasn't even that empty. Ours, we bought it and it was actually pretty full. So $9,000 security deposit. Yeah. 3 months rent. That's $9,000. You got to cough that up too. And about $3,000, those are like give and take numbers and licenses and permits. And besides the cost, like the monetary costs, it is a pain in the booty because you've got to do all this paperwork and everything else that comes along with it. So yeah, and there's a bunch of licenses like that you need and permits. The monthly costs, of course, because it doesn't stop there. $3,000 rent, and I'm going to go through these quickly because there's also a lot of numbers. $3,000 rents, $2,000 electric bill. Yeah, $400 that covers about the phone, internet security systems, cameras, and alarms that we may have. $7,000 in staff. Yeah, because you need a staff, and that's an approximate fee. And we only have 4. That's not including my dad and I, by the way. So yeah, at the end of the month, if we can't cover all these expenses, we're left with nothing. $500 in sanitation. Yeah, sanitation, because commercial businesses have to pay to get our garbage picked up. Workers' comp, department fire, exterminators. I'm probably missing a few others. And of course, the weekly inventory and the additional miscellaneous costs, which I'm sure I'm missing some. I didn't come up with all of them. Now, as if the costs weren't enough, we have non-monetary costs. Time. Yeah. I put in my life into the store. I work 7 days a week. Not all businesses require that. I do, believe it or not. I work 7 days a week, Monday through Monday. I don't know. I've never calculated the amount of hours, but it's probably 70 hours a week or something like that. That is ridiculous. But that's what I do. And if you own a business and you're not there to watch over it, you may as well sell it or drop it. You can't run a business and not physically be there, not with cameras and whatnot. No. You need to be there if you really want it to run properly. Vacation, what is that? I used to be able to vacation when I had my 9 to 5. Yes, there were, of course, advantages and disadvantages to that too. But now my vacations are rare. Of course, when I leave the store or my dad, we have to double shift it. So we have to be there from opening to closing, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yes, that's 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, for as long as we're away. That's why we don't take days off, because the other one, I want to take a nap. Yeah, I discovered naps when I started at the store. I wasn't a napper before that, but yeah, naps are like my thing right now. Beachbody, yay! So approximately 2 years ago, I was introduced to Beachbody. And I'm like, hey, okay. I was a little desperate at that point because I had gotten into this business and it was like draining my life, and I wasn't really seeing the money. Because in the beginning, you're paying your loans and all this crap. So Zainette, who's on the call tonight, she introduced me to Beachbody. And I'm like, oh, so what does it take or whatever? Effort. It takes a lot of effort. Of course, it takes time. So I'm like, hey, listen, I work 7 days a week. I don't have time for this stuff. How am I supposed to put in time for this stuff? Well, you can start part-time. Yes, you can put in as much time as you want to aside from your full-time job. You do not, nobody's asking you to drop your full-time job or your current job or your business or whatever. You can start this part-time, which is a beautiful thing. You reap what you sow in this business. So basically, everything that you put into it, that's what you get out of it. You give and you shall receive. You give. This business is about helping other people. And so the more that you help, the more that you get back. And that's basically how that works. You are your own boss, not Beachbody. That was very important to me because I was not about to work for somebody else. Especially not after having my own business. But regardless, you are your own boss, which, comes with everything else about being your own boss. But double your time, double your profits. That was huge to me because you see how I work double shifts when my dad's away, or vice versa. He works double shifts. You guys think that my store profited more when I put double my time into it? Not one cent. Not in that account. It does not. I put in 15 hours a day, 7 days a week into that store. And if the economy wasn't right, or whatever other factors may go into that, it does not mean that that's going to help my business. However, with Beachbody, you double your time into it and you will double your profits. It works that way in a fantastic way. So I'm like, all right, you got me. We were at dinner actually when she was introducing me to this. And I'm like, all right, so what's the cost to join this stuff? She's like, oh, there's my smart calculator because these are Mortar expenses. $39.95. $39.95. I'm like, are you kidding me? that's what I have to pay for like joining this company? She's like, yeah, that's it. All right. I'm like, oh, so I signed up right on the spot, by the way, because me being a business person and knowing what it costs me to get into my business, this was like a joke to me. Of course, it may not be that way for everybody else, but for me, it was a bargain. I was like, all right, no thoughts. But wait, so with the purchase of a challenge pack, that fee is waived. So you buy, what is a challenge pack? Challenge pack includes 30 days of Shakeology, amazing fitness programs. I've done them practically all, and they are amazing. I used to be a gym head before joining Beachbody. So to me, I kind of was into fitness already. So I knew that was also attractive to me, even though it was mainly the business aspect of it. And then nutrition guides. They are the nutrition Bibles, I call them, because these people are experts, the ones that work on this. And I'm not going to get into the details of what Shakeology is, even though it's the most amazing shake in the world, because this is not what this call is about. But as Beachbody coaches, we don't have to know what goes into Shakeology. All we have to know is how it works. How it makes us feel and what it just did for us. That's all we need to know. And it absolutely, all these things have changed my life. Oh yeah, so a challenge pack goes for approximately $142, $205. Again, that was for me a very low cost. But anyway, that wasn't considered to me a cost of joining the business, because that was for me. The Shakeology and the fitness programs, that's for me. That's for me to work on myself. So it's really an investment to yourself. You're gonna work on yourselves. Monthly costs, because there are monthly costs. I need to go quicker with this. $15.95 a month. That is what includes marketing, advertisement. Beachbody spends, I think it's something like hundreds of millions of dollars on advertisements. You could probably ask 9 out of 10 people will know what a P90X program is, or an Insanity program. So like they do all of that for us. An advertisement for the store, a little tiny sign costs me $300, easy. A little tiny thing. Any little thing that I want to advertise, my menus, everything costs. You're paying $15.95 a month to get all these. They give you 3 websites, training. They have all kinds of trainings and all the tools necessary to successfully run a challenge group. Challenge groups is what we use to help others, to make sure that they get their programs and that they complete them successfully. And Beachbody gives us everything, all the guidelines and everything to do that. So we don't have to do all the guesswork, and we don't have to worry about like, oh my God, I'm not going to be a good coach because I don't know what exactly this program is about. No, they give us all that. Shakeology HD. When you're a coach, it's $99 a month plus $2 shipping a month. We are our storefront. So that is what we invest into ourselves to show our business. We have to be the product of the product. We have to walk the walk, talk the talk. So that's where we need to invest into Shakeology monthly in order to successfully be a Beachbody coach. But this is a helping people business. So if you help 3 people a month, those costs will be covered and more. It'll cover more than that eventually. As a Beachbody coach, it doesn't stop there. You get to schedule your own hours. That's huge for me. That's like, coming from a place where I'm working 7 days a week, get to schedule your own hours. You get to choose who joins your team. You choose your teammates, really. You choose who's going to work with you. You don't have a commute. I don't know about you guys, but I hated taking the train for an hour every day to the city. And if you drive to the city, the traffic is unbearable. Either way, commute was a huge thing, is a huge thing for me. Right now, I don't have much of a commute, I have to say. But either way, I'm putting in a lot of hours. But commute, you don't have to commute. Economy-proof business. What does that mean? It doesn't matter what the market is like, what the stock exchange is like. Our business is just growing and growing and growing. Why? Because we have the best product in the planet. We are targeting the and the trend to end obesity. You know how many obese people we have in this country alone. And we're based out of the United States for now, but in Canada. But yeah, we have an amazing products. So regardless of the economy, and I actually know some people personally that have lost their jobs because their corporations, their companies, they go broke or whatever the case may be, and they get laid off and they're left without a job. They lose their retirements, they lose everything that they've worked for so many years, and all of a sudden they're left without a job. Not here. You create residual income, and that is huge. In a company or in your business, you trade time for money, basically. In this business, we invest time for freedom. We are investing our time because eventually we want, let me see if I have it here. Yay, financial freedom. And like, who doesn't want financial freedom? I do. And that's something that Beachbody lets you create, financial freedom. In addition, as if that's not enough, a strong mentorship program. Our mentors are our coaches. If there's one person that wants you to succeed in this business, is your coach, because your success equals to their success, and vice versa. We work as teams. We provide guidance, support, and accountability. I don't think a lot of jobs do that. No competitors, only teammates. I have a grocery store 2 blocks to the left and 2 blocks to the right. That's a lot of competition, like right there in the vicinity. That's for every grocery store, I think, or a lot of the businesses and all over the place. We have a lot of competition out there. We're not competing against each other as Beachbody coaches. We are there to help each other grow because we want us to grow. More than anything. So we will always have that guidance, support, and accountability and everything. So still, as your own boss, your business is on you. So like I said before, you reap what you sow. So it's really on you to make this business work. People come into this business and like everything else, like fitness and everything, people want instant gratification. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. In any business, you come in and you're working hard as hell in the beginning and you're not seeing money. So the more effort you put into this business, the more successful you are, but you have to put in the work. Some people think like, oh, I know, I joined the Beachbody and all of a sudden the money's going to start flying off the roof, and like people are just going to come right after me and they're going to be like, hey, listen, I want that amazing shake you're talking about. Kind of doesn't work that way. You have to put in the effort and your time, and it does pay off. It does. You decide what you want, when you want it, how big or small. Again, it's the same concept. You really decide. You are in control of your business. You are your business. You work on yourself harder because you want to show more. The harder you work on yourself in this business, which is, I think it's so amazing, the better you are with everything. It works, and your whole life improves. Your relationships, if you have kids, I'm sure that goes well too, because when you're into fitness, for instance, you work on yourself and you become a better person. And I love that about this business because it's helped me grow a lot personally, because we do have to do personal development and stuff. And that's helped me a lot in actually my own business, becoming a more positive person and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, the big so. Why isn't everybody a Beachbody coach then? Like, if this business is so good, why isn't everybody out there a Beachbody coach? Because they don't believe in themselves. People don't believe that they can do things. They quit at the first sign of rejection or failure as soon as things start to get tough. Oh, you sign up as a Beachbody coach. Hey, listen, I have this amazing product? Does it shake? You want to try it? No, I don't want to hear about it or whatever. Oh my God. No, my whole life is no, I can't do this. Forget about it. I can't do this stuff. I can't take a no. But guess what? You have to go for the no in this business, because that's just, people who don't just like, take yourselves, for example. Do you think the first time I told some of you about this project, you were like, nah, forget about it. I'm not joining that. Myself included, even though I liked the business aspect of it. I was like, Shakeology, I'm not too sure about that in the beginning. So you're going to get no's. You're going to get no's, because so a big part of this is about being consistent, and you have to believe in yourself. But I didn't, in the beginning, I didn't really believe I could make this work. One can be successful without failing. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. But with all the personal development that I've done, you can start believing in yourself and having faith. I'm not the biggest religious person in the world, but I do believe in God, and I really do, and in prayer. And when you pray and you become spiritual and you really ask for things, just ask, and they will come. It's unbelievable, the power that has. So that helps you overcome your obstacles and your fears, and that's really the road to success. When you overcome your obstacles and when you overcome your fear, you are in the road to success. And yet, I wanted to put more cartoons into everything, but I didn't. I actually ran out of time to make this thing. But a lot of people that I know, they dislike or they even hate their jobs. They hate them, but they don't quit. They don't quit, right? They're unhappy with their coworkers or their boss or their hours or where their commutes, and they have a whole list of things. Oh, but I love what I do. Some people may say, but what? But I don't like this, or but I don't like that. And some people just straight up hate their jobs. But they're not going to quit. They're not going to quit, right? But why do they quit Beachbody coaching then? Why do they quit relational marketing when they start this Beachbody thing? Things get tough and they quit because there is nothing to lose. You come in and you pay $39.95. You're not losing anything if you leave the business. You could just drop it the next day. I mean, excuse me, I'm getting a little dry. 1 second. So, yes, there's nothing to lose. You think if I put in $200,000 into this business, I was just going to give up on it? No. Not even my $15,000 measly dollars that I put into my business. If I put it into this business, I was not going to drop it just like that. But guess what? I could just walk away from this because what am I to lose? Right now, I wouldn't. Because once you realize what you're into, you know what you're into, and I wouldn't quit now. But that's really what people see. They have nothing to lose. What did I put into it? People who have their jobs, their careers, they spend 4, 6 years, 8 years in college, and they have their masters and their bachelors and their all these degrees, and you think they're just gonna quit their jobs just because they don't like it after they spent all that time and money in school and had their careers? There's no risks to start this business. So yes, you're gonna walk away from it. You're not fully invested. So, in conclusion, have control of your life without the huge overhead costs, both monetary and time. That sounds like a slogan or something, or a business or a sales pitch. But in reality, I have to say, I am not where I want to be in my Beachbody business, and that is because that's my fault. That is no one else's fault. And that is a give and take from this business, because what does that mean? That I can change that, because I have the power to change that. I don't have a boss that's going to tell me that I need to wait on for a raise, to give me a raise so that I can do better. No, that's on me. I have the power to change where I'm at and what I want to do and how fast I want to get to the end of, to reach my goals, rather. So you don't have a boss to, goodness, I lost my train of thought. But what I was trying to get to is that we in I wish it basically, if I'm treating this as a hobby. I'm a little embarrassed because I shouldn't, I'm standing up here and I'm praising this business and I'm where I'm at. But that's because I've treated it as a hobby. You treat this business like a hobby, you're going to get a hobby income. You're going to get $25 a week, $50 a week, $100 a week. That's what you're going to get from it if you treat it as a hobby. However, if you decide to treat it like a multi-million-dollar business, like $1 million business, this business will give you that. And that's basically the bottom line. You have to find your passion. You have to find your motivation and your why. And that's something that I still need to work on. But I know I can work on it because, like I said, we are the ones that are responsible for our failure or success in this business. It's really on us. That is basically the end of my PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna exit the screen. How do I exit the screen?
Go to right there. Perfect.
All right. So, I guess what time is it? Oh, 9:31. Yay! I made the half-hour mark. So,
you did amazing, Nixie. Seriously. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, wow, Nixie is comparing having spent $200,000 to having spent $39.95 a month. She's comparing the having not to stock her products. She doesn't have to ship, okay? She pays a $17 a month business fee and is able to give that link to anybody so they can go directly onto it and purchase from her, and Beachbody handles all of the rest. A lot of us coaches sit here and like, oh my God, we have to have 90 PBs. Seriously, 90 PBs means that you are drinking your shake. One of the vital behaviors. Very important. You're not spending, you're not throwing away $90. You are eating. It's one of your meals. When I started this business, I will be quite honest with you, that was my train of thought. Because like Nixie said before, I didn't believe in me. I didn't believe, I was holding myself back. I didn't have the posture. I didn't have the mentality that I can do this. Everything that Nixie said was spot on. And that's why we picked her, because we knew that she's been doing this. That there are days that we're all at the beach and Nixie's at her store because she is an owner and she can't trust to give her store and her cash register to just anybody who walks in there. She has to be there. So if her dad decides that he has to be on vacation, she has to be there. And same thing, if you guys, all of you know Audrey. Audrey goes through the same exact thing. Audrey at this point has not left her business because she doesn't want to leave her father alone. He doesn't find anybody that he can trust the way he trusts her. Nixie, in another hand, she's not comfortable. She's in the position where Audrey's father is. She's not comfortable giving her store to just anybody. She has to think about it. Nixie and I had a call last week, and really quickly, I'm going to tell you guys, we just came, and a couple of you guys on here were on it with me. We just came out of a 15-star revival. So the 15-star diamonds of Beachbody got together and did a revival for their coaches, and they only invited their star diamonds. And the more I look and think and watch every single video and go through every single note that I took, because I sat here and I took notes, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I watched it every single day. I skipped days, but I doubled on the next day, because this is my business. Like Nixie said, what you put into it is what you get out of it. And it's important to me to sit here and learn, right? So what did I keep hearing? Exactly what Nixie said, consistency. It's all in your consistency, being a product of the product. Guys, every single coach, every single video, 24 full days of the same exact thing in different wording. Everybody's saying the same thing. So I'm going to encourage you guys quickly to do something. There was one coach that really stood out. I don't even know her name, but what she said stood out. I got to be honest. And she talked about how she was going to go back to school. And her husband stopped her and said, why don't you invest that school time in, and let's make a Beachbody University. She looked at him like he was crazy. And he said, we're going to save money because you don't have to go out there and get student loans. You're going to be home learning all this stuff. Give it a year. Study for 1 year. What's the worst that can happen? If in 1 year you didn't learn anything and you're not making money, then you go back to school. So you lost 1 year. You're 26 years old. Guys, she's a 7-figure earner. Okay? In 10 months, she was making $2,000 a week. And I wish that Shaheen, you're on the call. Will you go ahead and post that disclaimer for anybody who's on the call who doesn't believe? Guys, it's exactly what Nixie said. It's consistency. That's the secret sauce. It's showing up. It's being consistent. It's inviting. It's having posture. You're not selling. We talk about what we do. You drink your shake every morning, don't you? Do you like it? I love my shake. So I'm sharing with people. It's all it is. Now you heard the business part. So for those of you who have been sitting there saving your little pennies because you want to open a business, think about it twice. We're not telling you not to open your business. This is not what we're trying to do. But listen, I wish I could get you I'll get you the woman's name whose husband told her not to go to school and to give it 1 year. Give it 1 year. Put that money, keep saving that money. Give it 1 year. We in Leadwell, excuse me, I'm stuttering of how excited I am. In Leadwell, we have the mastery. 15 days. Take the trainings. Go to your coach. Like Nixie said before, nobody wants this more for you than your upline coach. And if your upline coach doesn't want this or doesn't work the business, go to your Stars Diamond coach. There's everyone everywhere in Leadwell will help you. Don't hesitate. Send messages. Stop sitting there and not making things happen and wondering why you can't pay a bill and wondering why you can't afford to do this. You know how many people I heard from this month that they couldn't go to Summit because they couldn't afford it? You know, honestly, Melissa 2 years ago would have been like, oh, you know, no, that's not how I feel this year. This year I feel shame on you. Because if you really wanted it in the beginning of the year, and this is to the older coaches. I'm really sorry if there's new coaches on here that feel like, what the hell's wrong with her? But no, to the older coaches, shame on you if you didn't make it happen. In the beginning of the year, we put a plan out. Start saving. Start putting money together. Summit is where it's at. And if you guys are new and you couldn't make it to Summit for whatever reason, you couldn't get a ticket, you didn't make it in, watch it live. It's not the same thing, but it's amazing. And you know, like I told Nixie last week, sitting right next to, rubbing shoulders with a billionaire almost. She's, 7-figure earner that just started the company 2-3 years ago. And you're like looking at her like, okay, where the hell? What does she have that's better than me? Nothing. Because when she pees, she pulls down her pants just like you and I. She puts her pants on one leg at a time. You know what she has different? That while you and I were hanging out and watching Empire or Food Network or whatever the hell we watch, she was getting busy studying her business. So, Nixie, thank you so much.
Thank you everybody for showing up.
And everybody for showing up and spending time with us. The calls seem to be getting smaller and smaller, but I know that everybody that's on this call today is going to talk about how amazing you were, and everybody's going to want to watch the replay. So.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Nixie? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Your speech or whatever it is. I'm drunk. I'm drunk on your wine.
I know. If you don't want to share your questions here, it's totally fine. I understand. Some of you have my Facebook or Messenger, and I'm very happy to answer questions afterward. Yeah. So
yeah. Hold on a second. I want to take a group picture. How many people? Let me see if I can see.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody.
I knew this call would be this fabulous because honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, Nixie. For some reason, I can't get us all on a screen. Oh, there's me.
I don't think I have everybody on the screen either.
I don't know what's going on with my freaking computer.
Oh, thank you, everybody. I'm reading your comments. I wasn't even looking. Oh, thank you.
So cute. Okay, I guess I can't have this. I can't do this. It's not happening. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Let me get a picture. Aw. There's the baby talking. How cute. Oh. All right, smile, everybody. Cheese. All right, everyone. Good night. Thank you. Nixie, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
All right.